This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, friends. Welcome to GoOnlineTrainings.com. So yesterday we had seen what is MSBI. People who are new, okay, for them it is. So what is MSBI and what are the tools available in MSBI? And we had seen the history of SQL Server as well. So MSBI has three tools. One is called SSIS and SSIS and SSRS. Okay, from today we're going to be discussing about SSIS. Clear? So SQL Server Integration Services. Now, so why SSIS and where exactly we're going to be using SSIS? Okay. Now, what are the topics that we're going to be covering as part of SSIS? Let me tell you. It will take 20 hours, daily 1 hour, Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sunday, we don't conduct any classes. Remember this, okay? Even though you come on Saturday, the class will not be there. So it will be Sunday to Thursday for US crowd, okay? Yeah. So daily 1 hour. All classes are videos are recorded and shared. Data warehouse concepts are covered. Amazon mini project I'm going to be covering after SSIS is done. Interview questions are shared and sample CVs are shared, okay? So these are the things that we're going to be having it. What are the topics that we're going to be covering as part of SSIS? Introduction to ETL and SSIS, DTS and SSIS, control flow versus data flow, drivers, understand control flow tasks and containers, introduction to data flow items, SSIS sources and destinations, inter-to transformations, block or semi-block, non-block transformations, demos on each transformation, incremental loading versus full loading, SCD versus lookup and incremental loading, error data handling, grouping and looping with containers, understand variables, write timestamp expressions, debugging, logging, breakpoints, event handlers, checkpoints, SSIS transactions, and SSIS package deployments to the production. And SSIS utilities, call the SSIS package and stored procedures, introduction to data warehousing concepts, Amazon project, load the data to the data warehousing, any miscellaneous topics. So these are the things that we're going to be covering. Okay. Now, so it will take 20 days for the SSIS, 20 to 22 days, and plus 1 week time for the data warehousing. Clear? So data warehousing is very, very important. I'm going to take very basic to advanced level of data warehousing designing and concept and implementing. Okay. Even though you read thousands of data warehousing books, you Google thousands of YouTube videos, you will not be able to get, the depth of the concept with the content we are covering. Clear? Make sure that you understand and take it further. Now, some company comes to you and they say that they have the data. Okay, any company, you think about Amazon or Flipkart or Citibank.com or Netflix, any company. What is that? They have the data. The data they'll give you and they'll tell that tell me some insights about this data. They'll give you some data. They'll ask you, tell me some insights about the data. So if you wanted to tell the insights, if you have a limited data or very small amount of data, you can see that data and I can tell you. For example, if I see the data of a patient, okay, the blood is supposed to have 14 points, it has 10 points. Or the glucose level it should have 110, but is having 200. Okay, the heartbeat supposed to be 100 or 80 and he is having 60. So if I see some data for one customer, as a human being, I can tell them that this guy is having diabetics, this guy is having some kind of an issues, or this guy is having obesity. I can tell some insights about the data, right? So but now if somebody gives me large amount of data, the issue is that the first issue, let me talk about large data. If they give me millions of customers of a country, then they're asking me to tell me some insights about data. Even though I know data science very well, data analytics very well, I'm the number one in this world, but can I do with that? No, definitely as a human being you cannot do, because we are not talking about single patient, single customer. You have millions of customers are available. The data is large amount of data, you have it. So you will not be able to tell any insights about that. So that is where we're going to be using these machines with MSBI data science. All the computers with the softwares have to be replaced with the human beings. That's it, nothing else. Okay. So here we're going to be using MSBI, and we are going to be using data warehousing. We're going to be using Hadoop technologies or data analytics, data science technologies. Only one reason, because normal human being can do with a little amount of data, but you and me cannot cannot take large amount of data. When you have large amount of data, we cannot tell any insights about the data. Tell me something about my data. If some company says, then I'll go mad. So that is where the computers software plus computers hardware need to be implemented. Clear? So it could be MSBI, it could be Hadoop, or it could be X technology, Y technology, Z technology, whatever you have. Okay. Before MSBI comes, who was doing that work? That work done by Java and .NET people only. So MSBA came 15 years back. So don't tell me that before that data analytics was not there, or before SAP BI comes, you don't tell me that nobody was doing data analytics. People were doing, but using different tools. Okay, different tools like Java, .NET, C++. They were using, but wrong tools. So people were traveling wrongly, but now people were using a horse, but now they are using a train and the bus. So people were traveling from one place to another, but using different tools and things like that. It is very very slow, not appropriate tool. Then they have a lot of negative points, lot of things like that. Clear? So when you have large amount of data, that is where we're going to be using all these technologies. Otherwise, we can take a pen and paper and tell them that these are the data analytics points, or this is what is the insights about the data. Clear? So what are the challenges about the data? Okay. The first challenge is that a company, let us think about one company. The first data challenge, let me, okay, data challenges I'm talking about. The first issue is that the data of the company, the size issue, it is too large. Okay. Somewhere you have large data, or some places you may have medium sized data, some places you have small sized data. Remember, this is the challenge of the company. Now, if you ask the company, where is the data available? The next challenge, the company will tell me, I have a lot of branches all over the world, right? The location of the data, it is not all the data in a single location. Some data is in India, some data is in US, some data is in UK, some data is in Dubai, something like that. Think about Amazon.com. Amazon.com complete data is not centralized. So a lot of transactions are going on India. The India servers are placed somewhere in New Zealand. So the transactions are going on in India, but the data is going getting saved into New Zealand servers. The New Zealand sales is going on. That servers are available in Dubai. The Dubai sales is happening. The Dubai servers are available in India. Like that, the Amazon company is single company. They don't have a data is centralized, because they cannot centralize the data. The server will be, if they centralize it, the load will be more. Then it may not give you proper response to the Amazon.com site. So they don't centralize the data. They have the data in different locations. Clear? So any company you take it, Citibank.com, it is there everywhere. Netflix.com, BigBazaar.com, anything you take it, all the data of the company will not be available in same location or same place. They will be having different service. And if they ask them what are the environments they're using it, do you think that Amazon company is having only one application? Only Java I'm using, only .NET I'm using, only Android I'm using. So no company, no enterprise company is going to be using single application or single environment. They may having some of the data in Linux environment, some of the data in Windows, some of the data may be in Java, some of the data may be in .NET, some of the data they have stored in databases. So like SQL Server, Oracle, some of the data is available in Excel sheets, flat files, CSV files, right? Whatever you think of, CSV files, comma separated values, or XML data, or JSON files. Lot of files are available. The company's data is not available in a single place, a single machine, single platform, single environment. Clear? So that is also one more thing that you need to talk about. But now here, I am talking about a company called a single company, Amazon company. We cannot take Amazon company data combine with Apple company data. We cannot do data analytics like that. You have to create a data for a single company. We get a project for that company from that company. So we need to take the data. If you ask them where is your data? So this is the points they'll tell. What are the environments you have? So these are the environments in which they're storing the data. Large amount of data. What is the notation? So different people will have different notations, different styles. For example, they would like to store customer data in different ways. Okay, in customer gender they have. Okay, or customer name. In some places they're storing full name. In some places they're having first name, middle name, and the last name. These are the different notations different applications are following. In the gender column, in the gender column of the customer, in some places are you male, true and false. This is the data. In some places 1 and 0 are you male. In some places male and female. In some places complete spelling male and female. Now this is the data coming from Amazon only, but in New Zealand they're storing male female in gender column. In India they're storing male and female. In Dubai they're storing are you male, true or false, are you female, true or false. Like that they're storing gender data, but the values are different, the notations are different. Clear? So the notations are different. Again, all the data is customer data. They're having a lot of things, and sometimes they're also having lot of blank values called as null values. Okay, and sometimes they're having lot of duplicated data. These are the issues. Okay, size is the issue. The next one is called null values. Nulls. Okay, null is the issue. Lot of blank values they're having it. Lot of duplicated data also they have it. The other day we went to one project in India, Mumbai. So the company, they were into complete treatment of hairs. Okay, so it is a very, very big company in India. They are giving lot of treatments to the customers. When I see the reporting is saying that this is a profit last 5 years. But if I open their invoice, physical invoices, the figure is something else. Okay, but if I see the data warehousing and and see the report, the figure is something different. So why is that? Because they have created a lot of invoices without customers, or duplicated invoice being entered into the data warehousing. And some invoice you have some data, and some invoice will have not complete data. For example, if you take 5 treatments only, you paid for 5 treatments, but in the data warehousing they have entered only 3 treatments data, and remaining two treatments data did not enter, or the same invoice has been entered twice. So if you see the data, what happened? Whatever goes in is wrong, comes out will be wrong. You cannot do any kind of a mantras there, any kind of a magics there, because end of the day, you have to store the correct data. If the data is not so correct, so do you think that you will get right output, right data insights, right data analytics? Definitely wrong. If you, because the raw material is itself is a wrong means, you cannot do any kind of a magics there. You will get a lot of wrong analytics. So end of the day, the customer will not be happy about your data analytics or about your data science applications. Clear? So you have to have proper data preparations, but these are the data challenges. Size is the issue. Null values, blank values, duplicate values, that's what I told you, right? One invoice is entered twice. Some invoices are having only half of the treatment. Some invoices doesn't have any amount at all. It is zero value. And like that, lot of wrong data they have entered because these are entered by the front office people, the reception guys or sales guys. They don't know anything about things. They'll come to the office, they enter something, and they'll go. So they resign the company. The new guys comes in, and he will start from somewhere, and he will enter the data. So there is no proper, system available in that company. Some of the bills are available in the manual. Some of the bills are entered in the machines. When we ask, then they said they said that, sir, during this the machines were not working. Hardware was completely burned, and the hardware engineer did not come for 5 days. So we entered the complete physical system. After that, they are not loading into the the computers. So these are the lot of issues the company is facing. Now company management wanted to have proper analysis. Now these are the challenges the company is facing in Mumbai. So this could be a small company, bigger company, because end of the day all the data is not correct data. Even though they have data in different places, some of the data may be available in books as well. So this is also you should understand, it is manually entered. So you cannot say that environment could be book also. So I have to take the data and again recorrect it. Clear? So size is the issue. Notation is environment, location. Lot of issues are available. Even though you have a lot of issues, you should be able to bring the data from different locations, and you should be able to clean the data. Clear? So we're talking about the data coming from different places, right? All the data belong to all the data belong to Amazon.com. All the data you have to bring it and integrate it with the help of SSIS. Clear? So SSIS is completely integration tool. So I'm talking about, I have Java. This is implemented in US customers for Amazon.com. This may be in .NET. Okay. So this is implemented maybe in India. Okay, for Indian customers. So you have a Dubai. Dubai is having a lot of data which is in Excel or JSON or flat files, something like this. They have some data, but all this data belongs to Amazon.com. So all the data belongs to the customer sales and services data. So this data I have to first integrate it with the help of SSIS. SSIS is what is called as ETL tool. ETL stands for extract the data. It could be any source. Remember this. This is very good point. Extract the data, transform the data, and load the data. Extract the data, transform the data, and load the data. Where initially we're going to be loading the data. All the data we're going to be loading into one server. The server is called as a the server is called as staging server. Remember this. All the data will be loaded to one server. This is what is called a database server. Database means Oracle, SQL Server, and RDBMS servers. Clear? You're going to be creating one database here. The database name, you can say Amazon Stage. Okay, Amazon Stage database gets created. All the data as it is from Java, from .NET, from Dubai, all the data from different platforms, Excel data, flat file data, you will be able to get and load, and you create lot of tables here. Okay, lot of tables. We're going to be creating all the flat file data, this data, that data, JSON data, XML file data. End of the day, it is going to come to the staging server. Staging server means temporary. Staging means what? It is meaning temporary. So what is that you're going to be doing in the staging server? You get the data here, you're going to be cleansing that data. Means you may remove duplicates, or you wanted to convert lot of values, convert the data. Okay, And if you have null values, you wanted to fill in the nulls or fill in the blank values with some other data blanks. Clear? Lot of you wanted to convert or you wanted to split the data, you wanted to merge the data, you wanted to do x, you wanted to do y, whatever you wanted to do, you should be able to do it. But you have to clean the data. The process is called cleansing, because you may have source system may be giving you a wrong data. I don't know, I have some data here, all the data belongs to Amazon company, but Amazon company's data, is that a cleaned data? You should ask them. So they don't know, they may have duplicate values, misspelled values, blank values, lot of things may be happening. But you want to clean the data, where the cleaning is going to happen in the staging server. What is a staging server? Which is a temporary server, database server. That is how you should be able to get it. Now remember, from where you are getting the data, from the source. Clear? These sources are called, these sources are called OLTP machines. Remember this. These are called OLTP machines. OLTP stands for online transaction. Remember this. Online transaction processing. What do you mean by online transaction processing? For example, I wanted to buy a mobile phone. So my wife needs it. So what I do, I open my laptop. This is me, my laptop. Okay. I am opening my laptop. I'll connect www.amazon.com. I'll establish a link, because if I'm in India, I probably establishing a link. Let me take this down. So this is my client, this is my laptop. I will be establishing a link to this server, because in India they're using a .NET. I don't know, I'll simply say www.amazon.in or .com. So I will be connecting to one application, so I should be able to buy a mobile phone. So when I say buy mobile phone, .NET application is taking some data, because my customer ID, customer name, mobile phone, what is amount I paid, some some of the data it is going to be collecting, it is going to be storing it somewhere. So .NET may have backend database. Inside the database there is a row, one value or what two rows or goes. This is my company address, this is my shipping address, this is the payment done, your product will be delivered after 3 days. Like that, people are buying and buying, buying and buying, buying and buying, right? So thousands of people are going to be buying in Amazon.com. All the data is going to go to this server. For example, I go to Amazon now. So when I go to Amazon from my laptop, do you know how I'm connected? So I don't know. Amazon.in, if I connected, I don't know whether it is a .NET site or a Java site, PHP site, or Angular JS they have used it. I don't know. But simply I go, I have already registered. I would like to, you know, buy some products. I would like to see some deals. I would like to read some, buy some books. So that is what I'll go. I wanted to click something there and I would like to search and I would like to buy some product there if I wanted to buy something. Clear? So now if I'm buying, it is collecting the data. It could be Java side or .NET side, which is collecting the data. The data is going to go to one RDBMS only. Remember this. Okay. Now I am buying. The data will go to one RDBMS. Remember this. Okay. This is the end user is buying. Now one day this server also will be full, right? Because today you may have 1 TB of space, but people are buying and buying, buying and buying, buying and buying. What happens? This server will be full. Like that, same thing also would happen like this, right? So people are buying from America. A lot of people are buying from America. So one day this server is also getting filled. So first day one record, and after some time, thousands of people are buying the products, but they don't know that they're connecting to the Java machine. But whether it is a Java or a .NET, end of the day, it is storing it data. Data means data. It is one is the data, two is the data, Bhaskar is the data, and bot mobile phone is the data. So Java .NET we don't need. We need data from the Java, we need data from .NET, we need Java, data from Excel and flat file, all the data which you are getting to OLTP machines, that data only once in a while once in a week or once in a month, we will be putting into staging server. Okay. OLTP means, what is that OLTP? OLTP means, remember this point very well, online transaction processing. Wherever there is a fresh data, remember this point. Wherever there is a fresh data, the server is called as a OLTP server. Remember only this point. Whether it is SAP, Java, Android, X, Y, Z. No, that is not the question. Fresh data, OLTP. OLTP means it's going to be having a fresh data, read and write data. Most of the time, we are buying and buying, buying and buying. So we are reading the product for only 20% of the time. 80% of the time, we are buying the product. We are registering with the Amazon.com. 80% of the time, writing is going to be happening in OLTP applications. Clear? You will have more number of tables will be there. So this point you may not be able to understand now, but don't worry about it. More number of tables will be there. So these are called normalized tables, because end of the day, all the data we are going to be storing in a tables in database. Clear? .NET is not going to store the data. .NET will have a database. The database will have a table. The table will store the data. Like that, Java will not store the data. Java will have a database. Database will have a table. Table will store the data. So that is how we need to understand. OLTP means online transaction processing. In layman terminology, OLTP means only this point, fresh data. Wherever you're having a fresh data, those machines are called as OLTP servers. So there you may be having SAP or Java or .NET, Android, X, Y, Z, doesn't matter. Is it a fresh data? Yes. Fresh data means OLTP data. Remember this. So now I am buying lot of product, lot of product. So this is a fresh data because people are buying. But like that, after 1 year, this will become old data, right? OLTP should have only fresh data, but I'm keeping the historical data because last year customers data also here. So what we're going to be doing, all the data from OLTP. So every month we take SSIS, we get the data from here, we're going to be dumping into staging. So we get last month data in the current month. Today, June 2nd or June 3rd, June 4th. What will happen? Amazon is going to be getting every month data once in a month. SSIS is going to be running, getting the data and dumping into here. So all the data will come here and they're going to be cleaning the data. Cleaned data will be cleaned data will be placed with the help of again SSIS. We're going to be using ETL again. SSIS is going to be placed. So again, which is ETL going to be done. All the data, where will it go? All this data once in a month we're taking. This data is going to go to data warehousing. Okay, remember this. So this is a bigger machine called as a data warehouse. Okay, remember this. What is this? This is a data warehouse. Where space house is wrong. Okay, it is a single word. So if you wanted to write data space warehouse, this is the right one. Data space where space house. This is not there. Warehouse is a single word. So data warehouse. What is a data warehouse? I told you this is also one more database server only. Okay. Staging server is also database server and data warehousing also database server. But only thing is that it is going to be having large amount of space, large amount of hardware. So now what happens is that every month I'm getting some data. Let us say 500 GB of data every month I'm getting it. Okay, per month I'm getting it. So what normally they maintain here, they may maintain 1 TB of hard disk in this machine, in this machine or in this machine, they may have 1 TB hard disk. So maximum 500 GB or 600 700 GB you may have. If you have a lot of seasonality variations will be there, right? So for example, if it is lockdown tomorrow, people are going to buy lots of items today. Because of that, the size will increase. Every month we're getting 500 GB of data. The 500 GB of data they'll be getting after 1 month. It will go here after 500 GB. So what we do here, the entire 500 GB will go here. Now here they start cleaning it. They start cleaning it. You may have duplicate data. A lot of data is not clear data. You may think that a 2 GB of data is completely wrong data or duplicated data. Okay, so what cleaned data is going to be going here? It is going to go 4, okay, 98 GB. The first month it is going to go because 2 GB of data is duplicate. That's what I could found. Clear? So the staging is going to be having total 500 GB of data. As it is, you get it. Whatever you have in OLTP, as it is, you dump it here. You segregate. What is the cleaned data? What is uncleaned data? Cleaned data, you got 498 GB. The first month data, you got it. Once you got the data, what you do? You are not going to be keeping the data here. So this will get cleaned because these servers are completely, again, they delete the data from here. Okay, so they delete the data from here. Again, the next month you will get lot of orders you will be able to get. Again, the next month you may get again 600 GB of data. Out of 600 GB of data, again the same data will go here. They clean the data. Some 3 GB data is gone. The six, like that you'll be able to get it. So approximately, if you're getting 500 GB into, okay, into 12 months data, it is approximately 5 in 12 into 5, 6 terabyte of data. It is per year. But I am talking about 10 years of data in the data warehousing. 10 years means 10 into 60, 10 into 6, it is 60 terabytes of data is available in Amazon.com. Clear? So every month data, you are getting 500 GB. Of that data, once in a month or once in a 2 months or once in a quarter or once in a year, that is up to you, that you are putting the data from here to here. So you don't maintain the old data in the OLTP machines. Why? If I maintain the old data here, the servers are full and these servers will not respond to the site, because when you have so much of a data here, this site will not be very fast, because every time it is reading so much of a data, that is unnecessary. Nobody wanted to go back and ask, I bought a product in 2010 in January 1st, what was the product I bought? Do you ask that kind of a question to Amazon.com? No, you always say, I bought the product last week, whether it is delivered or not. Maximum you read only one week's data, 1 month's data, not more than that. Even they are buying products from last 5 years in Amazon.com. You go and see what are the products I bought 10 years back. You go there and ask. So Amazon site will not be able to show you, because Amazon site is a OLTP site. OLTP means fresh data. It is going to be showing last 1 month data or last 6 months data or last 1 year data only. It is going to be showing. It is saying that the date range cannot be more than 3 months. If you wanted to give a date range, I would like to see 2010 Jan to 2020, till date data. I would like to see all my transactions. When you give this such condition, wanted to see your transaction, it will tell maximum 3 months only we will allow. So they'll say, so the period could be only 3 months. So more than 3 months we cannot have. That means what? OLTP storing only 3 months of data. Remaining data, it is deleting from the OLTP machines. Am I clear? So OLTP always will have a fresh data. 20% of the time you will be reading the data. 80% of the time it is reading. We're going to be having small amount of data. The data may be in GBs. Okay. So here you may be having 500 GB per month. The hardware also not very big in OLTP machines. Clear? So these are the points that you should know. This is OLTP, and all the data once in a month you're getting it. So your data warehousing size could be 60 terabytes of data per 10 years. Any questions, guys?
I have a question.
Yeah, please.
So, when you say stage server, the database server, you're saying you're gonna take the data from OLTP server and basically just copy over SS into the stage server. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So where does the cleansing and remove duplicates happen? Does it happen in the SSIS circle, the first SSIS circle, or does it happen in the second SSIS ETL circle?
Yeah,
Where does the removing duplicates and cleaning and fill in blanks?
So now, yeah. So is that done? Okay. He's saying where does the cleansing is going to be happening? For example, I keep all the data, okay, all the data to the staging server. Staging server, for let us say you have one table called customer table or orders table. You have some data. So there is a table here. All the table data, please mute. All the table data via SSIS, it is going to come here. Please mute. Please mute. Yeah, good. So all the, for example, you have 1000 rows, you have it here. The 1000 rows from the OLTP machine is going to be placed in this, okay? So the table name called employee table or customer table or a sales table, whatever it is, okay? The sales thousands will happen. So this is replica. Entire data is going to come using SSIS to this. This is a sales staging, okay? So stage means, temporary. All the data is going to go here. Now what we do, we can create any logic. So this is table is available in the staging. We can create any logic here. So we can place one more table here itself, okay? You can place one more table here itself. This table will be called as, let me create two tables in staging here, okay? So within the staging I'm talking about, this is, I'll say, customer underscore clean, okay? I create one more table called customer underscore clean. I write customer underscore duplicate, something like this. I create two tables. Now these are available in this. The cleaned data, I should be able to push it here. I should be able to push it here. Okay, so all of them are available where? In the staging only. Staging, I'll create multiple tables. The first table is called staging table. It is a replica of source. 1000 rows will come here, but out of 1000 rows, the 900 rows are going to go here. This is cleaned data. 100 rows I'll be dumping it here. So where are these available? These are available in your uh, staging. So what technology you're going to be writing to do this? So you may use a SQL code, you may write it, or you may use SSIS code. Any code you can write it to clean this. Doesn't matter. But the cleaning is going to be happening in the stage. This is completely stage. So this is original data, and this is the clean data. Now this data, what you do with the help of SSIS, you take this data, and this data is going to go here. Okay. So how many rows you're going to be having? The data 900 rows are going to go here. So the original 1000 rows will be coming to the stage as it is. Okay, the table name could be sales stage 1000 rows. Now after that you create a two more tables inside the stage itself. One is called customer cleaned data, customer duplicate data. How do you clean it? You may write any kind of code, any technology you can use in between. Forget about the technology. You may use X technology, Y technology, SQL, SSIS, whatever will be the thing that you're going to be using, you apply that, and you should be able to clean and the duplicates, and the duplicate data will go here. The clean data will come here. So the cleaned rows using SSIS, you're simply dumping it here. The X could be SQL, the X could be SSIS. You can use anything to clean and load the data. Am I clear?
Yeah.
You may use any
So
technology here. Yeah.
so what happens to the duplicate data, the 100 rows?
Now,
They just stay
what
forever
happened
in
to
the stage?
duplicate data? That you need to take talk to the customer. So, what is that we should do? So, the customer say, please, send us the back. So, you take this data, you create one Excel file, and you will be sending this data to the customers, right? So, whatever be the data that you're getting, not cleaned data, that they don't want to have it in the data warehousing. That data you take it and give this table to the customers directly. They will reach. The customer will be saying, send this data in an Excel file, okay, or send this data in a database. So whatever they wanted to have it, you send this data, or they say that I don't want to see the data, you scrap or delete this data. I don't want to see that. So that is also one more thing. So whatever they ask, if they need the data, you send them in a Excel sheet or the mail, or push them into one more database, and maintain. Or if they say that I don't want to see the data, let it be 900 rows, so that data you can just remove it. So that is what you need to ask in the requirement gathering phase. What should I do with the data? So next one time they wanted to have the data, whatever the data which cannot go to the data warehousing, that data they would like to maintain one more database and they would like to have it in that. Or from here you will be creating an Excel file and move it, or you can have one more database. Okay, that is a dirty data, or some data will be there. So you're pushing the data from here to here with the help of one more SSIS. Okay, so one more SSIS will come. All the data is going to go to this database. This database may be a dirty data, or error data, or duplicate data, or unmatched data, something like this. You say error database, okay? Error DB, something like this. People are going to be using different technologies. Am I clear? So that is how the people are going to be using in the real time. Am I clear? Guys,
Yes,
am I
sounds
clear?
good.
Yeah, okay. Now, what is the data that you're going to be having it, and which data is going to go where? So where the data is going to be cleaned means the data will get cleaned where? In the staging itself. Staging will have a lot of tables, cleaned tables. Then you will have, the dirty tables, the staging tables. Staging means the as it is a copy of this. Okay, so you should be able to clean it. The clean data is going to go to this. Now that's what you need to do. Now the question is that what is SSIS is going to be doing for you? SSIS is completely data importing and exporting a tool. That's it, nothing else. ETLs are nothing but data importing, exporting tool. You take the data from the source and you export the data to the staging server. You take the cleaned data from here. You take the data from here, you're going to be dumping the data to the data warehousing. From one place to another place, you're going to be dumping this data. SSIS is simply a, you can say, cargo service or a motor. You have a motors at home, right? You have a bore well. You wanted to get the water from the ground, so what you do, you have to dig and fix a motor, and you have a tank or the drum, whatever you have a tank, right? When you switch on the motor, it is going to be taking the fresh water from the well and the ground, it is going to be dumping into your tank. So the tank could be this tank. So this is where you're going to be dumping. This is a tank. So the fresh water is going to come here, and here we're going to be cleaning, a chlorination, reverse osmosis, lot of things we're going to be doing, or boiling the water. All of them we're going to be doing. So in this tank, the after boiling, after the chlorination, with the help of one more motor, you're taking the cleaned water and dumping into one more tank. So this tank is called a data warehousing tank. Clear? So this is what are called different, things. You may have the water coming from different sources. The source could be this or this or this. Clear? You think about, I was giving a simple example. You don't have any water sources at your home. Okay, so the government is distributing the water to you. So what happens? Early morning, you have a taps at your street. So early morning, 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, you need to get up and take the bucket and go to the street and collect the water. So every morning, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, you get the water in the streets because you don't have proper water supply, because you have some issues in the summer. So what do? You take a bucket when this bucket is full. When this bucket is full, what you do? So you take the bucket, this bucket is full, what you do? You take the water manually, dump into a drum or the tank, and you keep the second bucket, third bucket. You have three taps there. When this is full and when this is full, what you do? You manually lift the buckets, you're dumping into the drum. So drum is at least capable of steering hundreds of buckets of water. So that is a data warehousing size. Okay. OLTP size just like a bucket. Bucket means it's going to be having 30 to 40 liters. But fresh water is going to be going to the bucket. These buckets are called as a OLTP. OLTP means wherever you're getting a fresh water, wherever you're collecting a fresh water. But you may ask, why can't I keep my tank here? So if you keep the tank here, that is good. But end of the day, tomorrow it will be very difficult for you to clean the data or doing a lot of other activities will be very, very difficult. We never place the tank in front of the tap. So always we carry the water in the buckets. These are called OLTP machines. The fresh data comes here, and once this bucket is full, we're going to be putting the water into a tank. That's what we need to understand. Clear? But instead of you carrying the water manually, you better buy a motor. So this is what is called a motor. Okay, this is your bucket. You connect it to this bucket to this motor, and you connect this motor to this tank. So you should be able to dump the data to this tank. But one day you came to know that this water is not cleaned water. So you're having some dirty water. So what you do? If the water is dirty, you cannot throw all the water. You need to fill it here. So this is where you will buy one more tank. You are dumping the water into this. This is what is called a staging tank. Here we're going to be cleaning the water. So complete chlorination, complete boiling is going to be happening here. So you clean the water. The cleaned water again with the help of one more motor. One more motor from here to here the data is going to go. So that's what you need to understand. Okay. So OLTP are just like a buckets where you have a fresh water, but the size is the 30 to 40 liters. The OLTP service, it is going to be having less than 1 terabyte of hard disk only, and not much of capability of processing, not much of a RAM, but it is supposed to write the data. That's it. So after this server is full, what you do, you switch on this SSIS, all the data from it is taken and cleaned, and the cleaned data it is going to go to the final data warehouse. So this is what you need to understand if you're thinking about a water example. Am I clear? So once you get the water, once you get the data to the tank, now you have historical data. Remember that point. So the data warehouse is going to be having yesterday's water, last 5 days water, or you may have last 1 month or 2 months or 10 months water also available. So data warehouse is going to be having always historical data. It is not fresh data. Fresh data always will be in the buckets. These are the buckets. OLTP servers called as a buckets, less in size, but fresh data will be available in OLTP. So data warehousing is called as a OLAP. Remember this. Okay. OLAP means online analytical processing. OLTP means fresh data, and quite opposite is OLAP. Okay. OLAP means online analytical processing. Analytical processing. Remember this point. So this is historical data, old data. This is not fresh data. This is completely historical data. Remember this. So data warehouse means historical data. If you know these points, that's it. If you know fresh data, that is OLTP data. If you say that historical data, that is OLAP data, or people will say data warehousing data. It is large amount of data because every month we are getting the data into this. So data warehousing OLAP machines are going to be having terabytes of data. Remember this, not on the gigabytes of data. Terabytes of data. It is read and write data. So in this completely historical data, will you modify that? Read only data. Nobody will write the data. Nobody will modify the data. And here we're going to be having lesser tables. Why less tables and all we'll discuss. Here we're going to be having normalized tables. What is normalized? What is less tables? All of them we'll see later. But remember these points clearly. Here we're going to be having denormalized. What is the denormalization? We're going to be discussing later. As of now, you understand only one point. OLTP means fresh data, small amount of data. OLAP means bigger tank or the drum. Historical data, large amount of data. If you understand these 2 points, as of now, it is enough. But remaining points, you may remember, you can discuss later. So read and write data, more tables, normalized data, read-only data, less tables, denormalized data, more indexes, sort of other points that we'll discuss later, less indexes. Okay, less indexes. So more users are connecting and dumping the data. So who's going to be using this data? Only by the managers. Okay. So you are buying and buying. You're the user. So millions of users are connecting and buying, buying the product. So more users are connected to OLTP missions only. People would ask you, have you seen any OLTP applications in the world? Yes, whatever we are using completely OLTP. ICICIbank.com, Citibank.com, Amazon.com, Yatra.com, BookMyShow.com, whatever you're using is, OLTP, OLTP, OLTP. We never see OLAP applications at all. But who's going to be seeing this? Who's going to be using these OLAP applications? That is company executives, company CEOs, companies board directors, companies people only. They see the data. They would like to analyze this data. They have lost 10 years of the data is available in the company. Approximately, I have 60 terabytes of data is available. So this data, so who's going to be analyzing it? So they're going to be using one more software here. The software is called as SSIS. Clear? So we're going to be using one more software called SSIS, Analysis Services. So this is where we're going to be processing the data. Okay. SSIS, we create a cube and perform multi-dimensional analysis. We create a cube, we process the data here. Processing means, what is the total, sales happened in India. I need to do the summing operation, or I would like to know what is the average sales across 5 years in India. So I would like to do average operation, right? So data warehouse is there to store the data. Clear? So data warehouse simply a refrigerator for you. It is going to be storing the data, but you need to take the items from the refrigerator. You have to start cutting, start mixing, start cooking. The complete processing is going to be happening elsewhere. You need to have a griller, you need to have a stove, you need to have a bowl. Lot of things are available there. The food will get cooked. Clear? So we're going to be storing the data into the data warehousing. Who's going to be processing? Processing means I wanted to know what is the sales in India last 5 years, what is the sales in US last 5 years, and what is the Apple iPhone sales across the countries across last 5 years. Like that, lot of processing I should be able to do it. That will be happened in the cube. We're going to be using SSAS. After that, we get this and we create a lot of reports. Okay, I'll be putting it here. Lot of reports are going to be creating with the help of SSRS. Clear? So these reports are submitted to the Amazon people. So your Amazon CEO, end of the day, you wanted to analyze what is the sales in India last 2 years. Why the sales is coming down? Why the sales is happening more? Why the sales is more? Why the sales is less? And why this country is not at all increasing the sales last 5 years? It is almost in the same place. It is not at all increasing. What is the issue there? So all of them, these people are going to be receiving the reports, and these guys are having, these guys are called business executives, business users, not the end users. End user means I'm the end user. Amazon.com, Bhaskar Jogi is a end user because I'm not working for Amazon company. So tomorrow you are working for Amazon company. You're a CEO in Amazon. So you're the business user. You're not the end user. You could be end user. You can also buy mobile phones by connecting like this. If that is the case, you're an end user. But the business user means you're working for the company, you're a CEO of the company, you are the decision maker of the company. Clear? So OLAP applications or business intelligence applications are developed for the business users, not for the end users. So this website is for the end user. So .NET website, Java website, all of them are developed for the OLTP purpose. OLTP purpose means end user usage purpose. You never see any OLAP application, any BI application for the end user's purpose. Remember this point, okay? These applications are developed and given to only board of directors of the company, CEO of the company, managers, executives, decision makers. So tell me, how many people are available in Amazon as an executive? You may have 100, 200, or less than 1,000 or 2,000 maximum, or 20,000 people maximum. Customers for Amazon.com, millions. So more users are going to be using OLTP, less users are using data warehousing and cube and everything. So you create one business intelligence application means SSIS and SSAS and SSRS and data warehousing. End of the day, you're going to be creating the reports and giving to this user. Clear? So for a user, they don't know what is a data warehouse. They don't know what is a SSIS. They will see only the report. They will be able to take that decision. That's it. So you will be able to create thousands of reports every month, every annum. So you will get the data once in a month, and every month you will be creating a fresh reports and submitting to the people. Okay. What are the reporting tools? Other reporting tools we have SSRS, Power BI. Excel is also number one reporting tool. Even Excel we can use to create a reports. Tableau, then we have a ClickView. Lot of tools. Apart from SSRS, you can also use other tools. You create a report, give the report to the end user. Clear? So end user is not the end user here, is a business user. So it's working for the company. These are called decision makers. So these people will take the decisions what needs to be done next. They will do the data analytics. So what was the sales in 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, last 10 years, and why the sales is up and down. So what can we do to increase the sales in this country? So all the decisions they need to have it so that they can improve the company. Clear? Why the business intelligence has to be implemented in a company? Because they have so much of a data. Human being cannot see the insights directly. So inside the instead of a human being, we replace with all these machines and the softwares, so that we fed the data and we ask a lot of reports to the machines. This is what we're going to be doing it. So you as a developer may be working in SSIS, or you may be working as a SSAS developer, or you may be working in SSRS. But remember, you should know SQL very well. If you don't know SQL very well, then definitely you will be the loser. So the after 2 weeks, we're going to be starting a SQL batch morning 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. Indian timing. If you wanted to enroll, you can enroll that as well. But as of now, you can start MSBI. Now, these are the things that we're going to be learning. So what is SSIS? What is SSIS means? It is extracting the data, transforming the data, loading the data. I told you, transformation means, what do you mean by transformation? Which is completely called as a converting data from one format to another. So that is what is transformation. You get the data, for example, in this machine, the gender is stored 1 and 0, true or false. Okay, something like this. Here we have male and female, customer gender. In this, they are storing, let us say, true, false. If I have a gender column here, if I have there is a customer table and gender column here, so I cannot get what is called as some data with ones and zeros, some data with M and F, some data with this. Because all customers data from US, all customers data from India, all customers from Dubai, I have to centralize, create only one customer table. I cannot create thousands of customer table. Only one customer table I will create here, all the customers data, and I have to keep it here. I would like to maintain only one notation, complete data, male and female I should have. So wherever there is a one, it has to be converted. So one will be converted, transformed. So 1 is M and 0 is F. So here there is no data conversion needed. Here true means male, false means female, like that. So wherever the data conversion is needed, I convert the data. I dump the data to the staging. I apply conversion and converted data. I will be loading into the customer table of data warehousing. The customer table will be having only one notation, male and female. You cannot have some of the data with ones and zeros, some of the data with this and that. Clear? So if you're in the US, the sales amount may be in USD, right? But if you're in India, the sales amount is INR. And if you're in Dubai, this may be even having SAR, something other, dinars, okay? So Dubai dinars are available. So something like this. But now Amazon company wanted to see the complete sales in USD, not in Indian rupees, not in dinars or Saudi riyals. So they would like to maintain only one currency, that is USD, because it is from America. So I have to convert only the India data and Dubai data into INRs. So whatever be the sales happening today, And whenever you're converting this currency into the US currency, whatever be the currency rate that day, so that will get converted, and you will be able to store this INR into USD at that time. Clear? So you may have a sales table, product you bought it, customer you bought it, what is the amount you paid, sales amount in USD, not in rupees, not in dinars, not in any other currency. So that is how you need to maintain a standardization. It is going to come within the transformation. You get the data, dump the data here, and you should be able to convert however you would like to convert. The conversion may be happening with the help of SQL, or conversion may be happening with the help of ETL as well. Extract the data, ETL itself can convert the data. So that is also available. Transform the data and load the data. So whatever you would like to do it, that can be done, so that you can, you know, dump it into the data warehousing. Clear? If somebody asks you what is the data warehousing and what is the OLTP and OLAP, these are the points you must tell them. OLTP means wherever you have a fresh data, small size data, right? Read and write data, more tables are there. All these tables are called normalized tables. Less indexes are used, more users are there. Okay, so what is index? What is, normalization? What is, all of them we'll discuss later. And data warehousing, OLAP data is called as a online analytical processing, historical data, large data, read-only data, less tables, denormalized tables, more indexes and less users. These users are called end users. Okay, these are called end users. Okay, remember this. So Amazon, I am the end user. I am not the business user. These are users that are called business users. That means I'm working for Amazon.com. Okay, so I would like to take a decision. So OLAP and data warehousing applications meant for the business users, but these are going to be having large amount of data. OLTP applications are developed for the end users, so that you and me are the end users. And did you use any OLTP applications? Yes, whatever we are using, all banking applications are OLTP. Why? Because when you deposit the cash, it is a fresh transaction. When you apply for a loan, fresh transaction. When you make the EMI amount every month, fresh transaction. When you transfer funds from your account to my account, fresh transaction. But after 1 year, you don't see the historical data. So you may see last 3 months data, last 6 months data. If you're asking for more than 3 years of historical data, then banker will say, I cannot give you. It will take a lot of time. Where is the data? The data would have gone to the data warehousing of the company. So every company will have OLTP and a data warehousing. So without OLTP, data warehouse cannot get the data. Remember this point as well. Without OLTP, data warehouse cannot get the data. So if you have a data warehousing means, if you have OLAP means, you remember you should have a OLTP system in the company. Remember that, okay? So OLAP means a data warehousing system plus a cube. These both of them are called OLAP here. Try to understand. Okay. So without OLTP, we cannot get OLAP, because OLAP will get the data from OLTP applications. So OLTP means any other application, could be Java, .NET, Excel, XML, JSON files from anywhere. You should be able to get the data. What is SSIS means? It is simply a motor, or simply data importing exporting tool. That's what we need to learn. And there are a lot of competitors for SSIS, Informatica, Data Stage. All of them are called ETL tools only. These are third-party tools. Informatica, right? Data Stage from IBM. So Ab Initio from Ab Initio company. Then Talend, okay. Then Pentaho. So a lot of tools are available. OBI, Oracle Data Integrator. All these tools are called ETL tools only. Microsoft ETL tool is called SSIS, SQL Server in Integration Services. So OBI from Oracle, ODI, not OBA, sorry, ODI. It is not OBA, sorry. It is ODI, Oracle Data Integrator. ODI, Oracle Data Integrator, Informatica, Data Stage, Ab Initio, Talend, Pentaho. A lot of tools are available in the market. But nowadays, SSIS is rocking. So we're going to be having next 20 classes. We're going to be working on this only. Clear? If you have any questions, you're welcome. We'll be going to create staging tables and everything. So you get the data, you clean the data. So from here to here, so whatever you're going to be doing. So this is what is called data preparation stage. Okay, you get the data, you prepare the data. Data preparation, data cleansing. Okay, so data preparation is going to be happening. Read the data, dump it to the staging. Staging will get as it is. If you have 1,000 rows in the source, 1,000 rows will be given to the staging. So staging will be as it is, the replica of source. Then whatever you would like to do it in the staging data, you take it, you're supposed to clean it there. For example, you go into the supermarket, get so all the vegetables are going to be getting and getting and you're cleaning at your home and dumping into your refrigerator, right? So before cleaning, whatever you get, so it is the state in which it is available in the supermarket, you will be able to get as it is to your home. Your home is called a staging area, you're going to be cleaning it. So cleaning, after cleaning, you will be preserving those items like that. Okay, so before cooking it, you need to clean the data, cut the vegetables, clean the data, remove the unwanted stuff from the vegetables. So that's how you may be getting not only from one store, multiple stores you will be getting. So store number one, store number two, store number three, get the data, clean the vegetables, and after that you will be moving these vegetables into your, after cleaning, you're dumping the data into your refrigerator. So you think like that. Okay, so that is what you need to understand. Clear, guys? So data preparation is very, very important. So what is the data and what kind of a data they have it? And you need to sample the data and do a lot of things there. If you have any questions, you're welcome. So this is very, very important interview question. So what is the difference between OLTP versus OLAP? OLTP means wherever you're storing fresh data. So end of the day, we store the data in databases only. Okay. So OLTP means it refers to a database only. Remember, the data wherever you're storing. So the database only. OLAP or the data warehouse also, it is a database only. Remember. So these are two databases only. OLTP database and OLAP database. But OLTP database means wherever you're storing a fresh data. So that database is called as a OLTP database. Okay. The OLTP database getting the data from different applications, Java, .NET, XML, Excel, wherever you're getting the data, but all the data has to come and it has to sit in the database only. So OLTP means storing. Remember this. So wherever you're storing a fresh data, the database is called as a OLTP database. Wherever you're storing the historical data, that is called as a data warehousing database, or you can say OLAP database. Clear? So historical data, large amount of data, read-only data, and something like this. Okay, less tables, denormalized data, something like this. Clear, guys? Thank you. So tomorrow we'll continue with SSIS. How we're going to be creating a project and what exactly we can do with SSIS, and all of them we will see. And we'll also see the architecture of SSIS. Clear? So a lot of things we'll discuss from tomorrow. Welcome to the questions.
I have a
Yeah,
question.
please.
Um, if we have the data warehouse for historical data, what role SSAS plays? Like, I mean, we can create whatever tables,
Yeah,
right, in the
correct.
data
Now,
warehouse for reporting.
I told. Yeah. Now I have, this is my data warehousing. Okay, you think like this. This is data warehouse. I have some data 10, 20, 30. Now I need the data, but I need to know the sum. Sum is 10 plus 20, 30 plus 30, 60. The sum is going to be, it is a processing. So this is going to be happened in SSAS. SSAS is going to be doing the processing called a sum. Okay, process could be an average. So whatever you would like to do, the those operations will be carried out in the this one, and the aggregation, the total is going to be stored in SSAS. Now the raw data is going to be stored in this. Clear? So tomorrow you may get some more data. So next month sales is going to come here. So the next month sales comes here. What is again total sum? Again, you need to aggregate the data. The total could be something else. So that is going to be coming here. So the SSIS is going to be processing. Processing means it's going to be aggregating. Aggregation means average, sum, find out the minimum value, maximum value. A lot of operations you would like to do it, right? So all these things you would like to count number of customers, something like this. All this is called processing. This is going to be happened with the SSIS. The raw data is available in the data warehousing. Am I clear?
Yeah, that's clear. But like we can also do aggregation through custom SQL, right? Like we can write group by clause
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it
that will
still
discuss.
point to the data warehouse.
Yeah, even though that you can do it, but it is very burden to the data warehousing, because when you have so much of data and that itself you're doing, so what will happen? For example, you have one guy, you can serve pizza for one guy very very easily. You can give the water first, then you can give welcome drink, you can serve, you can clean the plate, because you are only one guy to serve. If I get 1,000 guys and you said I am going to be serving, is it very easy to do that? No. Only one guy is giving the water to all, one guy is giving beers to all, one guy is giving snacks to all. Why are we distributing the work? Because so much of people to be served. Clear? So here, even though the processing and everything can be done with the data warehouse, but when you have so much of data and a data warehouse is very, very, it will be have more work. One is called handling data warehousing storage. They, at the same time, it is going to be, dealing of processing. It is going to aggregate the data. That is also one more burden it is going to be giving. Clear? So we need to divide the functionality. You go and store the data there, and one more person is going to come. He's going to be aggregating the data. So one guy can do it, but when you have more and more data, we are dividing the functionality. That's it, nothing else. Clear?
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Hey, Bhaskar, can I ask you a quick question if you go back to the paint you just did? Just a very quick
Yeah.
question.
Mm-hmm.
So here you just mentioned that, okay, on that staging place, right, you can just create two table and clean the data. But, isn't it also we have an option to the next ETL to do the cleaning process too, based on some taskbar? Like, in the staging, we can do based on the merge or in kind of other process, right, in the SQL process. But instead of doing in the staging, we have an option to do the next ETL also, right, using some task, right? The
Yeah,
cleaning
you can
process.
do. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
just
you can.
so
Yeah,
which one is more recommended?
major cleaning is going to happening here. Major cleaning is going to happen here. You have, this kind of a cleaning is going to happen. So small things are
Like in
going to happen.
incremental loading and stuff, those stuff will happen in and removing the
Yeah,
duplicate.
yeah.
Those stuff will
For
happen in
example,
the
yeah,
staging.
yeah. So when you eat food, doctor will say, at least half digestion is going to happen in your mouth, right? Remaining the half digestion is going to be happening in your body. So when you cut some fruit and eat, when you're chewing or when you're cutting with your mouth, what is happening? So automatically half of the digestion is going to happen in your mouth itself. So like that. So maximum stuff is going to be happening here, and a few things can also be handled within SSIS. So it is extracting the data. It will do some kind of a conversion and it loads the data. Something like this also
Got
can
it.
happen.
Got it.
But
Thank you.
major cleaning is going to be happening within the staging itself. Yeah.
Hello, Bhaskar. So over here,
Yeah.
we got like a lot of data to the OLTP, right? And we load to SSIS. And when we load, like there is a time until we load to the SSIS. Don't we get like new fresh data? When we delete, doesn't delete the fresh data from us?
No, normally you don't delete the data in the data warehouse. If you delete the data in the data warehouse, you lose the data, right?
No,
You
no, that
delete the data from OLTP. OLTP data you delete it and you get the fresh data and you load the same data here. Again, you delete the data here. You don't keep any data in the staging as well. Because every time what happens is that you get the data here, you're going to be and sorry, 1 minute. What is happening? So every time what happens is that you get the fresh data, you keep it here, and you load the data. So then when you're taking the data second time, this data, the old data will get deleted here. Again, you get the fresh copy of the data, you clean the data, you dump it here, because you will be maintaining a copy of the data here, not in OLTP, not in staging. Staging is only temporary. So today it will be there, tomorrow it will not be there. You cannot ask a temporary, server to give the permanent data, right? So permanent data, the company historical data is available in only one place, that is called data warehousing. Clear? So OLTP will have last 6 months data, last 3 months data, or last 1 year data. It depends upon the situation, business to business. Yeah. Am I clear?
So my question is like, in the OLTP, like we have the data and we load it to the SIS, and when we load into the SSIS, I think we delete the OLTP data, but
Yes,
like
we delete.
in the time interval until we load to the SSIS, there could be coming fresh data. When we go back and try to delete, don't we lose fresh data within that time, or is
Yeah,
there?
normally what happens is that you load the data. So let us think like this. So what happens is, I'll tell you. For example, let us say think about Jan. Okay, let me. So they have different strategies. You have Jan data, then you have they're loading Jan data here. Okay, Jan month data comes here. They're not deleting any data. You think like this. Then the February data here. They're not deleting anything here. Okay, so think. So they wanted to maintain 3 months data. So February data also they load it here. Okay. Now here, then they get what March data. Can you just mute it? So they'll get the March data as well here. Okay. Then when they get the April data here, what happens? So they wanted to maintain only 3 months data. So this data will get deleted now. Which data? So this data will get deleted now. Clear? So always they maintain 3 months data.
Okay.
Now they'll get April data.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, thank you.
Clear? So every time they'll maintain 3 months data. So one month by month data gets copied. So this is how the things would happen. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Anything else? So tomorrow.